During the late 1800s to the early 1900s, many people worked in various industrial jobs. Due to the rise in immigrants, many people settled for any job available. Many of the jobs during the time period were dangerous and undesirable. Some of these jobs included mining, meat butchering, sweatshop work, and gloomy factory work. The progressives were working hard to give these workers higher wages and less work hours. While the progressives were trying to help the adult workers, they were also trying to prevent the children of America from working. The movement was trying its hardest, but the outbreak of workers, child and adult alike, proved too much for the organizations. The factory and business owners were too strong and the government was too weak to help with the progressives' causes. Due to the inability to stop the mass outbreak of children working, the rise in child labor had begun.
During and after the Second Industrial Revolution, children worked for low pay to help support their poor families. Most of the time, children had to work in order to support their family or to pay off their family's debt. Children worked mainly along the East Coast, with the ages ranging from 5 years old to adulthood. They worked in mines, factories, mills, just about anywhere for any job. In mills, they had to stand on spools, and in mines, they had to squeeze through the smallest cracks. Being children, they tended to nod off during the afternoon. This was met with a serious, sometimes fatal accident, or resulted in a beating by the overseer. In order to escape weak or unconstitutional child labor laws, they responded that the children working there were of age.
Lewis Hine was born on September 26, 1874 in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Later in his life, while studying at the University of Chicago, he met Frank E. Manny, the superintendent at the Ethical Culture School in New York. After completing his studies in the University of Chicago, Hine moved to New York and became a teacher at the Ethical Culture School. The school was founded by Felix Adler, a social reformer who started the ethical culture movement. The school he taught at, originally called Working Man's School, was a school for poor children and served as a free kindergarten. There, as a teacher, he developed a soft spot for children, which led him to become a child labor photographer. In 1904, Hine and a friend, Manny, created the nation's first photography program at the Ethical Culture School. Accompanied by his camera, Hine took students to photograph landscapes. He also took them out in New York streets to photograph its high-class citizens. Hine also began photographing immigrants on Ellis Island.
Then in 1908, Lewis Hine took a place in the National Child Labor Committee, formed in 1904 in hopes to abolish child labor. As a new member of the committee, Hine left his family and hit the road to photograph children in dangerous or undesirable conditions. These jobs included mining, factory working, and many others. Hine had a unique style of photographing these children because the owner of the business didn't want the public to know about child labor. Many times he would disguise himself in order to photograph the children. The employers highly disliked child labor photographers, and many of those photographers were jailed and harassed. If Lewis could not enter the working places, he would wait outside the main gates and photograph children as they came out. For each child he photographed, he wrote their name and age down.
Lewis Hine's work on the issue of child labor resulted in the realization that making children work is wrong, but he wasn't alone. There were many other child labor activists who were working to ban child labor. Due to their work, child labor was eventually banned in 1938 by the Fair Labor Standards Act. This act officially banned child labor by putting an age limit on when children could work. This gave children time to enjoy their childhood and get an education. With all the work of the great people in our country, children finally received their rights as children.